Hey, John here. Had some interest in my filing jig that I use for my harvester chain. So I thought I'd just give you a really quick rundown on maybe just a little bit of close up, if you would, on what I've done here with a little help from a welder, which I don't have a welder, but this is it's just a little cam over system, right? So we used a rod with a spring. I did sacrifice a new bar just so I had good tight bar rails by welding this bracket on here, back here, sprocket, bolt, relatively easy, and just finding the right spring tension so that you can slip that on there, cams over, and then I can move the chain, as I'm filing along pretty easily. I'd like to show you the bottom. I think is just as important there. You see where it's kind of a triangular base, and that allows me to keep the unit fairly light. In other words, I can move it, just get it out of my way, but at the same time I can just rest my foot on one of those crossbars and hold it still. When I'm filing, you're leaning into it a little bit and you're putting some pressure on there, and you don't want this thing wobbling around because that's just frustrating. So with a nice wide base like that, and then very easy to file. I mean, this thing works really slick. Another little fringe benefit that I realize is when I throw the chains on here, it's very quick to be sure that the chain is usable, in the sense that harvester chains, having a hydraulic saw, out on the cutting head, you derail one of those chains, it's not uncommon that you really hammer up the drivers as it comes off the bar. So when I throw it on this, and I can tell really quick if I've got some drivers buggered up, or if the chain actually gets bent, and that can happen also. So as soon as I throw it on here and I've got a little bend to the chain, I know, nope, that's got to go on the repair nail. And then some rainy day, I'll have to go through that stack and chunk them up and put a good piece of chain in there. As long as the cutter teeth have got that kind of life in it. So that's what it is. Really handy in the shop, good lighting, nice and warm, comfortable. I really do think that if somebody is more clever than myself, I could see a jig like this actually being made to fit on harvester bar, smaller chainsaw bars, and then maybe a simpler bolt-on system with a stand. And I could see where folks would really use this here if somebody wants to do the sharpening in their shop rather than out on the job and just swap chains. It's pretty handy. Hope that helps. Take care, guys.